I love the Tron aesthetic. I wish, between the music and the aesthetic of these movies, I wish these movies were better.
Hi, I'm Luke.
And I'm Becca, and we're talking about movies like we know stuff.
Hello, everyone. We just got done seeing Tron Ares in theaters, and we are going to provide our review on it. But real quick, I'm going to give you guys a quick high-level view of the original Tron Legacy.
Well, number 2.
You're right, number 2. Yeah.
Who's seen the original?
I've never seen the original.
Not
I need
me.
to see it at some point in time, but today is not that day.
It is not that day.
We're just talking about Legacy and Ares here and how they relate. So in Tron Legacy, Kevin Flynn disappears. Kevin Flynn, the founder of the grid, he's the original character in the original Tron. And he leaves behind his son, Sam Flynn. And at one point in time, when Legacy picks up, Sam gets on the grid, and then he ends up finding his dad on the grid after encountering a bunch of bad guys, including Clue, Clue is the program that Kevin Flynn created in order to help him create this perfect digital world that Kevin was dreaming of. So then Kevin tries to get his dad out of the grid with Cora, and Cora is an ISO, which is a creation of Kevin's, which is like the modern day AI, and that was kind of Kevin's gift to the real world to help make the real world a better place. Through a bunch of like fighting and all that kind of stuff, Kevin, Flynn, Sam Flynn, and Cora all get to the end portal where Clue is waiting for them. There's a battle. Basically, spoiler alert, Kevin ends up sacrificing himself so that Sam and Cora can get out of the grid, and that's kind of where that movie ends, basically. Oh, yeah, also Tron is there from the original one, but he basically turns from being a bad guy for most of it to being a good guy. He has actually kind of a pathetically minor role in that movie.
Right. Yeah, I didn't remember until today when you told me that Tron is a character, and I thought it was the name of the game.
It is the name of the game, but also the character.
But it's also the character.
Correct.
Points also to Luke for being willing to rewatch this movie, because I saw it in theaters when it came out.
Rewatching Legacy, yeah.
Rewatching Legacy. I saw it when it came out about a decade ago in theaters, and I remember being exceptionally bored and never wanting to watch it again. And I told you that I would see this new one in theaters, but I was not going to rewatch the predecessor for a refresher, that I would just wiki it. And you took one for the team and watched that movie.
Yeah.
But the Daft Punk score is fire, but I was so bored by the movie when I originally saw it. I feel like my love for movie scores hadn't really like blossomed yet.
Yeah.
That I didn't even remember how good the music was.
Right.
Until the Disney World Tron Light Cycle Run ride came out.
Mm-hmm. And then it started playing all that Daft Punk music. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the music keeps reinvigorating me to go, oh, Tron Legacy was a good movie. And then I, again, like Becca just said, I just got done watching it. It's not that good of a movie.
No.
Like, it has so much potential. It could have been so good, but it was just not that good of a movie, unfortunately.
It's really underwhelming.
It's pretty underwhelming. It's
really
a very
boring.
It's an average movie.
It's boring.
It's not bad, or even so bad it's good. It's just average, which is probably a worse place to be than so bad it's good. Mm-hmm. You know?
It's just everything but the music is so incredibly forgettable about Tron Legacy that I think the only reason that this movie exists is because the music is beloved.
Yes.
And because the ride is beloved. I think the ride reminded people that Tron exists.
Right.
Like, it's a thing.
Yeah, but knowing Disney, they built Tron knowing that Ares was gonna
eventually come, yeah.
Because, you know, we've ridden it with the Ares theming, which
but
I
also,
really
like
the
that
Ares
ride,
theming.
it's not original to the U.S. parks. It's from Tokyo Disneyland, I think. So it's been out.
Yeah.
We're not the first one.
Right, but I would also say I wouldn't put it past Disney that they said, oh, we'll time the ride to be pretty close with Ares coming out. Like that's just good business.
Yeah,
honestly.
that's fair.
So, but yes, you're right. This isn't the first time a Tron ride has existed. But anyway, we're not here to talk about the Tron ride or the 1970s film or Legacy. We're here to talk about Tron Ares. So like always, we will start off with a spoiler-free review, and then we'll let you guys know when we're going into spoilers. So for those of you who haven't seen it and want to go see it, you guys can click away. Or if you don't care and you're not going to see it, or you're going to maybe see it, you know, when it comes to Disney Plus inevitably.
In like a month.
Then you can, like a month, you can just listen to the spoilers and
go on with your life.
Go on with your life, exactly.
Okay, honey, thank you for suffering through Tron Legacy and summarizing it for us.
So welcome.
But a quick summary of the Tron movie we actually saw, so Tron Ares. This really focuses on mainly a battle between two tech giants. So we have the tech company that Sam Flynn was running that they decided to write him out and have him just like walk away from running that company. So we have the good tech company and the bad tech company. And they're both trying to find the permanence code, which is a code that Kevin Flynn apparently developed and that enables a developer to bring something into the real world from the grid.
Keep it longer for 30 minutes.
And keep it for longer than this shortened duration, which the movie says is 30 minutes.
Right.
So, but if you have the code, you can bring programs from the grid to live in the real world. You can also apparently create life. You can grow trees. You can do incredible things. So you have these two tech giants who are fighting to get the code for good/nefarious reasons. And the main program character in this being the Jared Leto character, Ares, and he's a program developed by the bad tech giant, and he is being sent into the real world to find the code and to really destroy the the developer who has successfully found the code. And all alongside this, you have Ares struggling with his ongoing humanness, is that he's developing beyond his code to just follow the directions of his developer. And that's basically it.
Yeah, that's a good summary. I like it. So, let's just start off with spoiler-free review. Becca, give me your first couple thoughts.
It's fine.
Okay.
I think it's better than Tron Legacy. I was less bored, and that was my biggest complaint about the previous film, was that I was just very bored. And I was not as bored watching this film. It was paced decently well in the fact that I didn't find my mind wandering too much, but I still feel like it overall, like the sum of its parts still fell flat for me.
Okay.
There were elements to it that I want to go more into in the spoiler section that just were a little lackluster, or they underperformed compared to the first one.
Yeah.
This is kind of typical of a movie like this, where the star of it is the visuals.
Yes,
For
correct.
me, it's the visuals.
Kind of a little bit like Transformers a bit, where like the visuals
It's
of
the
the
effects.
Transformers transforming is kind of like the coolest part of it, and the fighting.
The writing was just underwhelming, and there were just portions that I'll go into more details later that just felt like lazy exposition dumps and really undeserved character development that came out of nowhere. And there are times that I felt like the plot moved really fast in a way that it didn't feel sincere, it didn't feel genuine. And some of like the techie elements, even for somebody like me who doesn't consider myself tech savvy, I'm thinking to myself, this isn't 1999. There is no way in heck that is the only place the code lives.
Right.
There's no way. This isn't 1999. So
much has changed in 25 years, 35 years.
I just feel like they're overall, it's still pretty weak.
Okay.
It was more entertaining than the last one, which sadly is a low bar, but it was more entertaining than the last one. A couple of other good things I can say about it is that good effects, good fight choreography. I am a sucker for like the blades with like the lightsaber lasers going everywhere. Like it looks great.
It looks cool.
It really does. There was nothing that looked bad.
Yeah.
It looks really good. And even the topic felt like they took some notes from Detroit Become Human.
Yeah.
About the debate going around AI and how human-like is it getting and what is too far, and how something so incredibly helpful can become something so scary. Where's that line? How do we not cross it? What are we risking by not exploring this technology? But also, what are we putting at risk by putting too much into the hands of a computer?
Right.
I think of just what we're seeing in our own lives, that I'm so creeped out by the AI grok voice you use in the car sometimes and how incredibly lifelike it sounds.
Yeah, it is kind of freaky to hear sometimes.
And I think of the first time I heard that, I said, oh, this is where AI girlfriends are coming from.
Yeah.
Where you just have this voice that's like affirming your questions and your thoughts on things, and it is a little unsettling. So I will say that there were plot points to this movie that felt more relevant to the times we're living in than Tron Legacy, which felt like it had really nothing to do with what's going on now.
Yeah,
but now
correct.
we're living in a world of technology being more integrated and smart and intuitive than ever before. And what could that mean for the future?
Right.
So that did make the plot of this movie more interesting.
Agreed.
So it didn't completely flop for me, but I still wouldn't say it was a win.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Yeah, it's a good movie. Again, I'll echo exactly your thoughts in that it's better than Legacy for sure in the entertainment value, but it's still not a stellar movie. I think it's a good movie. We've upgraded for sure, but I still don't think it's something that I will tell everybody that you have to go see this movie. I think if they try again and really commit to it in like the nearish future, rather than giving it such a wide space in between all the movies. I mean, the first one was like late 1980s. The second one was like 2010s, 2015, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
And this one's now 2025. Like, that's a big gap between all of these movies. If they want to make this a serious franchise, they really do need to pump these out a little faster.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it needs to be an every year thing, but a little faster. We don't need to go full Marvel on this one. We just need to go a little faster.
I just feel like Tron Legacy wasn't loved enough to take such a break, where Avatar, the first one, was such a marvel that they could get away with a ridiculously long pause until the second one.
Yeah. Right, because it makes sense because, I mean, the visual effects alone are so iconic enough in Avatar that people expect these movies to take a long time. So, yeah, I would agree with that. The story on this one was much more cohesive. In Tron Legacy, the plot kind of wandered and meandered a little bit. This one, and it was kind
Like, you knew who the villains were.
Exactly.
Like,
You know
it was,
the bad
it
guys
was
were.
clear
Yeah,
what they
you knew
wanted
the bad
to
guys
do.
were, and the plot in Ares really had like momentum, forward motion. Whereas it felt like in Legacy it was kind of like, and then this happened, and then this happened, and then this happened, and then this happened. And Ares, there's a couple of different plot lines all kind of happening at the same time, but they keep you informed with all of them, and they all kind of have a purpose that's not any one where it's like, oh yeah, Jimmy John's off over making sandwiches in the corner, and nobody cares about him, but we're gonna keep telling you about him, There was meaningful plot in all of the storylines, and it kept the momentum moving, which I appreciated.
Yeah, which I think it speaks to that I said, I can't say I was really bored.
Yeah.
And I mean that sounds more like a compliment than a backhanded compliment.
No, I get what you mean. Yeah, I totally get what you mean. All right, so that wraps up our spoiler-free portion of our review. If you do not want to hear any spoilers, now is your time to click off, and we'll be back with a full spoiler-filled review of Tron Ares. All right, if you're still here, we're going into spoilers, and it's time to start the review off. We're going to do our classic movie review outline where we talk about the overall thoughts, story, plot, characters, music, visual, sound effects, is it worth watching, and then a rating out of 10 at the end. So let's start, since we kind of already gave overall thoughts in the spoiler-free review, let's skip down to the story and the plot. Do you want to go first, or do you want me to go first on that one?
I don't mind going first.
Okay, how about it?
Again, a more cohesive plot. I agree to what you said in the spoiler section. It was very clear that you knew exactly who the good guys were, who the bad guys were. But I would say, again, I just felt like a lot of the dialogue was really insincere. Like the discussion, like in the car, where Ares is talking to Eve, and he's just pulling out her whole like past, and he's like, "Oh, you have an inferiority complex because your dead sister was better at you than you at everything, and that must really be hard for you."
Yeah.
And she's like, "Yeah, humans experience loss."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Yep, that's how people talk." Like, I would believe maybe a robot talks like that.
Well, he is a robot.
Yeah, but like her response was
Yeah.
also kind of robotic.
Okay.
And there were times where I just thought, and again, this relates to the plot because it relates to the writing, but I thought, how did these people read these lines without like bursting into laughter?
There were some cheesy lines, and there were in Legacy as well. Yeah.
Like at the, the big climax where Eve is trying to save Ares from like being trapped in the 1980s grid forever. And she's like, "You don't understand, we have to save him by fixing the laser." And that is true. That is what is happening, but I just don't feel like anything was written in a way that I had a hard time taking the plot as seriously, because overall I just don't think that the writing was very good.
Sure.
And that makes me feel bad because I feel like there's some very good actors in this. Like, I do think Jared Leto is a good actor. I just don't think he gets good projects a lot.
I agree.
But I do think he's a good actor. I think he's talented. I think he's good looking. I think he should have more of a Jake Gyllenhaal career at this point in his life than the one he has.
Yeah, like, he gets a bad rap for what he does in the real world, and I think there should be potentially minor consequences for things he does in real life, but overall, I think he's a good actor. It feels a little bit like the Nickelback effect, where it's just like fun. It's like cool to hate.
It's
on
like
him.
popular to not like him.
I
But
was talking to my friends on the way home, and they're all like, "Oh, I didn't see this movie because Jared Leto stars in it." And I'm like, oh, "Okay." I mean, sure. When I saw that Jared Leto was starring in it, I was like, "No, that kind of stinks." But I'm still gonna go see this movie. You know. And I think he did a good job.
I think he did the best with what he had.
Yeah.
But yeah, overall, just I thought that the story was really predictable.
Right.
That as soon as it started, I'm like, okay, here's the good tech company versus the bad tech company, and the good tech company is going to win. And I really wish they would have had some build up to the Ares character having a malfunction. I feel like you don't really get like a big reveal.
No.
That their only reveal is that in his first mission, he questions why they were going to leave like a wounded soldier behind. He's like, oh, why would you do that? That I don't feel like the reveal of him malfunctioning to be more like human-like and more of an empath was very strong.
Yeah. So there was...
It kind of came out of like, I don't know, I feel like it came out of nowhere. They're like,
a little bit.
Oh, he's malfunctioning with his big human heart that he's developing.
Yeah, yeah.
And I keep going back to Detroit Become Human, but that just did it so much better, where you saw certain android characters become more human-like and evolve in their ability to feel and relate, but it was a beautiful slow progression, which obviously you can do in a game that takes hours.
Right.
But it felt like immediately, only 15 minutes into the movie, Jared Leto's saying, I felt rain.
Yeah.
And I talked to someone's mom. I don't believe that any program would fall that quickly into human-like feelings.
Yeah, I agree with your point that it didn't feel rewarding for him to transition to an empath. There were hints of it even before the situation where they almost left the soldier behind, or they did leave the soldier behind or whatever. When he was scanning Eve and going through her history and stuff like that, and even while he was chasing her as like a bad guy, there were like in the side there was a bunch of dialogue basically, you know, like it talked about like, oh, so many minutes until they like de-res. There was other things where it's like emotion and sympathy detected and stuff like that. So he's kind of getting like the pop-ups and like the text, and they were really fast on screen. And so it wasn't super clear. And again, like you said, it felt unearned a little bit, or a little rushed maybe, is probably what I felt like it was. Another thing that I want to say about the story as well is I'm having trouble understanding what the lore of the Tron world is. And not like Tron like the digital world, like Tron like the movie series world. It feels like there's these rules, and they feel like they're sometimes cobbled together and sometimes not. Like
where did Jeff Bridges' Force Ghost come from? Like,
right, yeah. And
why was he allowed to come?
He's like,
For
are you alive?
Because the plot,
so
the plot could happen?
Exactly. He's like, are you alive? And he's like, I exist because you do. And it's like, what does that mean?
It's just like Jeff Bridges' code just floating out forever.
And when they talked about how these digital characters could come to the real world, but they were hampered by a 30-minute timer. How does that play for Cora? Like,
right, yeah, because that was never a concern.
Yeah.
Or is that why Sam Flynn is that why he stepped back for personal reasons? Because his girlfriend disintegrated after the credits of the last movie?
So he was ready to take over the company for 30 minutes, and then after she deleted it, he was like, never mind, I don't want to be part of this company anymore.
That was the best 29 minutes of his life.
The best 25 minutes of his life. So true. Yeah, that didn't make any sense to me. So I would say, if they're going to do another one, they need to establish stronger rules for this world.
And they need to, if you're going to make a movie about technology, you should at least keep up with the times, in the sense that I do not believe that there's any reality in which somebody spends months freezing like in the Antarctic to figure out this code, and they decide that there's no way they can possibly keep it safe on any kind of cloud, that it has to be on their USB flash drive that I kept like my papers on for college.
That's what hackers are.
I don't believe that this life-saving code that can bring life, cure diseases, grow crops in, dead areas only lives on her flash drive. I just don't. I don't believe that she doesn't even have a backup flash drive. Just one was the Sam's Club closed in Antarctica. You couldn't get another flash drive.
Clearly.
I don't believe it. It feels...
They tried to say it was so remote that it only existed on that computer, and she had to put it on a flash drive because there was no internet connected to it, basically. That's what they tried to, tell you about.
I just don't believe that...
Putting it on a flash drive was silly.
Putting it on one more would have made everybody's life so much better.
Yeah, right. It was convoluted because basically Eve goes out to see her sister's computer out in the middle of nowhere because her sister liked to work in extreme isolation, apparently. She finds the code that lets the digital characters live in the real world for forever. And then she puts it on a flash drive, tries
just
to fly it back. And I'm trying to put the pieces together in my head again. Tries to fly it back, gets almost intercepted by Ares. She breaks it in half and throws it in the water. And then I think what happened was she goes, I know the code exists, but for some reason doesn't go back to her sister's workstation. She goes looking for it in Kevin Flynn's memorial computer in the middle of the tower.
Well, obviously,
Right?
that has to be because of the time limit, because she has 29 minutes until Ares disintegrates, and she can't get back to go to Antarctica that quickly.
Okay, I guess that kind of makes sense, yeah.
But I don't believe that there wasn't
Another
another
copy of
way to
something.
have a flash drive.
Yeah.
What a... that's something that I would do.
Put it on the flash
I
drive.
put it on one flash drive, I wouldn't back
And
it
then
up,
you'd be mad when you lost it.
and then the world would end because I would lose it. She should know better.
Yeah.
Tech giant.
Yeah. One other question I had for the story was, how did Ares get from the Enron Corporation server to the
You mean MCOM?
MCOM? Is it MCOM?
Yeah, Enron was a real.
That's right. I was gonna say,
company.
I wrote that out on
Like
my
the
notes, and I'm
Enron
like,
scandal.
I don't think that's right. Yeah, and MCOM or whatever it is, corporation, to the Flynn's arcade server. Remember, he goes in.
Yeah.
Were those two linked the whole time? This gigantic company just has a backhaul back to the arcade down on Podunk Street.
No, I mean, truly, this is an example of, Ryan George. They did it because the movie needed to happen.
Basic. That's what it feels like. Yeah. I mean, it was cool that you got to see the arcade again.
Why did they do that? I don't know.
Yeah.
Keep it in.
Yeah. It's cool that they got to see the arcade again, but it was kind of silly, in my opinion. All right, let's move on to characters, because we are talking long here, but that's okay. The characters were interesting to me. I really liked the chick bad guy after Ares goes rogue.
Yeah, Athena was a good
Athena
villain.
was a really good
Yeah,
villain. I
she
really
was a
enjoyed
good
watching her.
villain.
She portrayed her character very well.
Yeah, I actually believed she was an android, or
Yeah.
she was a piece of code
Yeah,
living.
right.
I never believed Jared Leto was a piece of code.
No.
Immediately he seemed
Immediately
human.
he's human, yeah.
Even his design, I feel like they could have really sleeked his hair back. He looked so human. He moved so human.
Yeah.
But I did think Athena was on point. She was a good classic villain.
I don't like Jared Leto's long hair. I think he looks way better with short hair. It just looks so greasy and mangy. I don't know. But
Who would code greasy hair?
yeah, whatever, so whatever. I also thought it was very interesting that they decided to do co-leads on this movie. I don't think Jared Leto or Greta Lee was the main character in this movie. I think they co-main charactered. And I thought that was an interesting take. You don't see that in a whole lot of movies. At least in my opinion, you don't see it in a lot of movies.
Yeah, I would say that's a fair point.
Yeah, I think they
Even
shared
though
the
it's
spotlight
called
really well.
Tron Ares, it really was equally about Eve's journey as well, her grief journey,
Yes.
or the way that she's obviously trying to cope with her sister's death by finishing her work.
Right, exactly. Anything else on characters?
I don't have too much to say. I mean, I liked Eve was a perfectly fine female lead. I thought it was cool to see somebody that, it sounds strange, but just looked like an average girl. To see
Yeah.
not just a supermodel playing a scientist.
Yeah, for sure.
You just look like a regular person. Not that she wasn't beautiful, but you just look like a person on the street. And I
Yeah.
would believe that you are your character.
Yeah.
And you're not just this Victoria's Secret model who
Right.
threw on a lab coat for a Disney production.
Exactly.
So I appreciate that. And also she was a fine actress. I thought the lines that were laughable, they weren't her fault. She was putting lipstick on a pig.
Sure.
It wasn't her fault.
Yeah, that's fair. Her sidekicks in the company were not the annoying sidekicks, which I appreciated. They were slightly
fine.
goofy, but they weren't. Yeah, they didn't have big parts.
They weren't
They
distracting.
weren't obnoxiously goofy, I guess. They had some goofy pieces, but they weren't obnoxiously goofy. So that was good.
What did you think about the human villain? The head of the tech company, Julian,
Yeah.
the bad tech lead.
Yeah.
I thought he was a really ineffective villain.
You think so? I think he's the classic misguided guy where he thinks he's doing the right thing up until he has consequences for his actions, and then suddenly he's very remorseful.
See, I think he was less concerned with doing the right thing and just more concerned with his own legacy and the success of his company, and doing the right thing be darned, honestly.
Yeah. I didn't
Because,
say he was doing the right thing.
he was willing to kill somebody.
I didn't say he was doing the right thing.
So.
Yeah. So he was okay. I wasn't super blown away by him, in my opinion.
Yeah. I thought I guess in the sense he was cast well as this weak man that didn't really earn the place that he was in.
Yeah. Yep.
And was trying to just thrust his power about.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to remember his character beyond this,
Right.
probably.
Also, it's called Tron Ares. Where's Tron? Tron needs to be in the movie somewhere.
But Tron's the game, right?
Tron's a character as well.
Did they mention the Tron game in this?
I mean, the entire light cycle sequence is a Tron reference.
Then it's fine.
The character needs to be in it. It's called Tron. He needs to be in there.
Tron Force Ghost.
Tron Force
Bring back
Ghost.
Tron via Force Ghost.
Via Force Ghost. Yeah, anyway. All right, let's go into the music next. What do you think of the music?
Inferior.
Inferior. I agree.
Deeply inferior.
I don't think deeply inferior. I think inferior, but it's hard to beat Daft Punk. It's hard to beat
so
Daft Punk.
good. The music in Tron Legacy is such S tier.
Yeah, it feels very movie-esque. It's very epic. And this one felt more experimental. Don't get me wrong, some bops in there. I will definitely be adding some to a playlist.
I mean, maybe deeply is harsh, but the whole time I just kept thinking, oh, I wish Daft Punk had just decided to get back together just for like one last round.
Right, and do it
just to
again.
give people a reason to see this movie.
Right, exactly. So, yeah, good job, Nine Inch Nails, but it's gonna be impossible to beat Daft Punk in my
Yeah,
opinion.
you had a hard act to follow.
Very hard act to follow.
I mean, I could have done better.
Nine Inch Nails is good. I love Nine Inch Nails. They're great. But I think Daft Punk did a better Tron score. Mm-hmm. That's all there is to it, in my opinion. All right, let's talk about some visuals and special effects. Obviously, this movie takes place in a digital area, or it takes it in real life where digital things are coming into it. And so, heavy on the special effects, I think they looked great. I love the Tron aesthetic. I wish, between the music and the aesthetic of these movies, I wish these movies were better.
Yeah.
I think these movies could be like S-tier movies, and unfortunately, the writing, mostly the writing,
Just brings it down.
just brings it down, unfortunately. The black on lights is just such a cool aesthetic. And again, it makes it really easy, like, maybe it's placating to a dumb audience or whatever. Maybe I'm the dumb audience, who knows? But the fact that it's like, yeah, red is bad, blue and or white is really good. And it's like, okay, cool, perfect. That makes it extremely clear who is who in this movie. And I don't know, it's just such a cool aesthetic. When Ares gets the life code from Kevin and he gets that new white suit, that was so cool. That the pattern on his suit and the lights on it when it lights up when he's going towards Athena, oh, that was such a cool scene. I really liked that scene.
It's good design.
Yeah.
It's definitely good costume design.
Right. And then, you got the lasers flying through the air with the light trails and all that kind of stuff.
All of like
Really
the light cycle chases through the city looked really good.
Yes.
Again, great fight choreography. Anything with like, again, the discs and the lasers swirling
Yes.
around. It looks great. They
Looks
all look
great.
like they could be screensavers.
Yes.
They all look like they should be praised on like the VFX Reacts, YouTube show.
Yeah.
That is the star of the movie, are definitely the visuals. Is that it? I'm hoping that, like, if music videos were still as popular as they used to be, that this would be a great,
Oh, for sure.
great visual to have, a great
sure.
Daft Punk song
Yeah,
over.
yeah. This is probably a bold statement, but I stand behind it. The fight between Ares and Athena at the end was just as hype as any climax lightsaber battle in Star Wars, in my opinion. I was so hyped for those fights, and they looked so good, and the choreography was so good. I was getting really excited, which again gives me so much hope for this series, and I wish that just the writing wasn't so lackluster.
Right.
So, anything else on the special effects?
No.
No?
They were good.
Okay.
They're good enough to warrant a theatrical release.
Yeah, oh, for sure.
I am glad to have seen it at least once on a big screen. Even if I don't see it again, it was definitely some like eye candy.
For sure. Absolutely. I do have one nitpick about the special effects. The big mothership that Athena flies into in like close to the end, that big mothership U-looking thing. Those are classic ships out of the original Tron. They just modernized them basically. The scale didn't make sense. So Athena comes into the world for what is the last time in this movie. And she summons a bunch of like equipment and other soldiers to come in with her. And at one point, the guy who is the evil tech company's CEO goes, "What are you doing that's too big?" And then it reveals that she's printing one of those, or lasering in one of those big U-shaped ships, basically. The garage where the lasers are at, it's only like 1, 2, maybe 3 stories tall. But then it flies into the city and it's like 5 to 10 stories tall. It's like, how did you fit that in the garage? Like, there's no way that would have fit in the garage. I 3D
It just
print.
compressed. You went, whoop.
Yeah, some compression algorithms happen.
Yes, it just accordioned out just like a Looney Tunes cartoon.
So, yeah, so that was just my nitpick, as I was like, that flying ship is way too big for being able to be printed in a garage, you know, or a warehouse factory. So, all right, is it worth watching?
Yeah.
It's the best Tron. If you're gonna watch any Tron.
Yeah, it is.
Well, I guess I can't technically say that because I haven't seen the original Tron, but as a connoisseur of modern movies, it's definitely the better of the two in terms of story.
Yeah, I would say so. Where I really did think that the last one was genuinely a waste of time, except for the score. Just listen to the score or go on the Disney World ride.
Sure. Yep.
This is worth seeing at least once, ideally in a theatrical setting because the visuals are the star of the show.
For sure.
If not, still worth streaming on Disney Plus on a decent television, which most of us have.
Agreed.
It's probably not gonna knock your socks off unless you really have like a love for Tron in general, or maybe an exceptional love for that spacey aesthetic.
Yeah.
But I still think you could probably get something out of it just as a lover of film.
Right. Yeah, I would agree with that. I would say that the movie is more entertaining than Legacy, but I wouldn't say you need to rush out to theaters to see it. Also, sponsored by Enterprise and Audi, just in case you weren't sure. Both of those make some pretty obvious ad placements, but definitely give it a watch. If you're gonna watch either of the Tron movies, I would say give Ares the go. Oh,
You
that's
could
the other thing I
honestly
wanted
just
to
like
say.
read the wiki for the
You probably could.
for the plot of Tron Legacy and go in to see this, and you'll be fine.
Yeah. The other thing I wanted to say is you don't necessarily need to see Legacy before you watch Ares. There's very minimal references to, which is another downside to the writing. It's not as well intertwined with the previous one. Like Legacy clearly ties itself to the original Tron because his dad
Kevin.
gets stuck back into his program that he's working on that he gets stuck in the original Tron. There's a very strong tie there. Ares, there's like a few references to Legacy in
There's
Ares.
almost no link
But
until the
there's-
very end when Jeff Bridges has a cameo.
Exactly, yeah.
Which doesn't make any sense that he's aged.
And then at the, yeah, right. Which Jeff Bridges is 75 now. I can't even imagine. He looks so much older. I would have guessed he's 75 in Tron Legacy.
Yeah.
So he looks really old now. Love you, Jeff Bridges, but eesh.
I mean, I just understand in a world where nothing makes sense, they couldn't have de-aged him for his
A little bit more, yeah.
cameo.
For sure. So,
Anyways,
all right.
it's almost like a standalone film.
It really is. So yeah, go watch it by itself. No problems there. All right, I did the score out of 10 last time, so you're up on the podium first.
I mean, this is still going to sound kind of mean.
Okay.
I'm going to go to 5.5.
5.5. Wow, I think that's your lowest one to date.
Maybe 6.
Are you feeling bad now?
I'm feeling bad. You know what? I'll say 6 because the effects are so good.
Yeah.
But if the effects weren't as impressive as they are, it would be a 5.
Okay.
It would be a 7 if Daft Punk did the music.
Oh, okay. All right.
But I'll
That's fair.
say 6. We'll go 6.
All right. I was gonna give it an 8, but then we talked about the story a bunch, and I'm like,
I always talk you down.
You do talk me down, so I'm gonna give it a 7. And I think Nine Inch Nails did a great job with the soundtrack. Again, hard to beat Daft Punk, but they still did a great job. And so I'm gonna give it a 7. I enjoyed the film. Don't rush out to see it.
Or maybe do. I don't know.
Okay, whatever floats your boat.
No judgment. And with that, we would love to hear, what you guys thought. Did you see this movie? Did you see the twist coming from a mile away? Do you remember Tron Legacy? If you do, how do you think it stacks up? We'd love to hear in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, check out our last video where we watched a very different movie called A Big, Bold, Beautiful Journey, which is going to hit you in the feels
Very much so.
in all kinds of ways. So if you liked this, please hop on over and watch that. Please like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps us out. We love hearing from you guys. We love sharing our love of movies with you. So just a simple little like and a comment will really help us out. So thanks a lot.
Thanks, guys. Have a great night.
Bye.